Ladies and gentlemen, chapter 1169 of One Piece has just dropped, and as always, we're gonna gloss over it. I'm gonna give my reaction. This one seems pretty special according to Twitter. So, oh yeah, and as always, of course, I can't show any of the panels because Joasia might get me for that. So, to be safe, I'll try to reenact it as best as I can. Anyway, the chapter for this cover for the book is a glass mural of a bunch of Weekly Shonen Jump characters, which is pretty cool. We got Maru from JJK Modulo, we got Kagurabachi, and we got like a bunch of other characters here. Of course, Luffy's in the middle because that's our goat right there. Anyway, the cover for One Piece itself is a spread of the Rocks Pirates, which is pretty cool. I think this one's fire. Oh, to cook with this, I think. Anyway, onto the actual chapter. 1169 is titled I Have to Die Now, which I'm gonna assume that's from like Loki because he just lost the only mom he ever had, so that's very unfortunate. But anyway, 14 years ago in Gabon's house in the realm of the sun, a young Shanks says, "What? Captain Roger has a son?" And Gabon responds, "Seems like it. Garp told me about him the last time we crossed paths. The kid's done well to stay out of the Navy's clutches." Shanks responds, "Wow, so I basically have a little brother out there." Gabon responds, "True. You and Buggy were always like our sons. Who knows, with Captain Roger's blood flowing through him, the kid might just become the pirate king of the new era." Oh no. Oh no. How wrong you were, bruh. Oh hell no. Yeah, the future pirate king, huh? Did you confuse the pirate king with a donut, bro? Oh my god. Gabon responds, "You know the title's not hereditary, right? Besides, most burdened with high expectations fail to reach the top." Yeah, clearly. Clearly demonstrated with Ace. What a donut. Anyway, is that so? I think things are more interesting that way. Meanwhile, in the Oist castle, one of the guards says, "Ah, it's Loki. I mean Prince Loki, he's returned. Elder Jarl just arrived too." Now in the foyer of the audience chamber, the guards ask, "Your Majesty, why did you do that?" And it shows a panel of Harold striking down, or I guess had already strucken down a guard. Someone, I'm presumed to be Emu, responds, "He was just chaining you as ordered." Harold thinks to himself, "Why did I cut down that soldier? What am I? My body. It's moving on its own. Is it because of those orders? I'm simply forced to snuff out anyone in my way? Mobilize the entire nation and form a grand army of warriors. Could it really be impossible to disobey? Is it messing with my thoughts too? Will this last forever? That the country will suffer as long as I live. This body of mine is a walking hazard." Yeah, it's cause of you, dumbass. It's cause you were dumb enough to believe his ass. God damn it. Use your brain for a second and like think of the consequences of teaming up with the world government, dude. Anyway, it'll be for nothing. It'll all be for nothing. The last 144 years of my life. And I wonder why. I have to die now. Men, kill me now. Hurry before I'm completely taken over. As if I'd ever let Elbaf be enslaved. The guards say, "Your Majesty, what are you saying?" And just as Harold says that, Loki returns and asks, "Old man, what the hell are you doing?" And then Harold thinks, "It can't be. I really am immortal. I'm regenerating. Stop this. All of you run. How am I supposed to die now? Someone help me." Okay, so Emu turned him immortal, and now he permanently is his slave. Yeah, okay. Loki and Jarl are very shocked. Then we cut back to Shanks and Gabon's conversation in Gabon's house, and Shanks says, "I'll cut to the chase. Harold and I were both bound by the most shallow pact of the Holy Land to serve the individual they call the Great One. This is just the Shallow Sea Covenant contract, mind you, but even then when we're in range, we can't defy their orders." One responds, "That's a curious power." Yeah, it meant we could only talk more plainly when we were away from the Holy Land. And it shows like a flashback of Harold holding Shanks and saying, "I knew it, you're from the Red Hair Pirates, aren't you?" Harold would probably be happy to join the Knights of God if it helped Elbaf's membership bid, but if he agrees, he'd have to enter into a deeper covenant. Gabon asks if that's a problem, and Shanks responds, "The covenant of a full knight blesses them with inhuman strength and immortality. They can also conjure abyss pentagrams, enabling transversal across vast distances. In exchange, the Great One's voice can reach them anywhere, so disobedience becomes totally impossible, even if you're far away. Harold would be fully under their thumb if he enters into that deeper covenant. Those guys have a boundless appetite for greed. I can't see them just honoring their word. I really don't think Harold should join, and his words cut off as a gigantic spark of hockey is released from the OS castle. As Loki responds, "What the? Knock it off, old man. What the hell is even going on here? How are you even breathing after all those stab wounds? Why are you trying to kill us? And where's all this strength coming from?" Jarl fights back Harold and responds, "What happened to you, Harold? Come back to your senses." The guards say, "All guards report to the throne room now. He's gone mad. The king. We have to stop him. Did a fight break out? I bet Loki's up to no good again. Hurry! We must aid our king. Explain yourself, Harold. What happened?" "Elder Jarl, what I've done is unforgivable. My sanity is slipping beyond my control. Please listen to me, Loki. Tell the people of Elbaf what happened here. Tell them about the guards I slayed. Let it be known that I've repeatedly stained my hands, trying to make Elbaf a member nation. Spread the word about how I was tricked and ended up in this miserable state. They wanted me to enslave our people as warriors for the government." What do you mean? How are you tricked?" "They never intended to honor my terms from the very start." Elder Jarl looks at Harold in shock as Harold responds, "Elder Jarl, Loki must be the one to eat Elbaf's secret treasure. Please see to it." "What?" "No one else can beat me with these godly powers. It was never my dream to see Elbaf subjugated by the government. I am the worst king in the history of Elbaf." True, actually, yes. I have fact-checked that information, and that is factual. Harold's slander is the only reason this heart still beats, you know what I mean? "You must kill me and take the throne, Loki. Let Elbaf know what a disgrace of a king I was. Kill me, and elevate yourself as a hero. I don't care about how I'm remembered. That's not important. The only thing that matters is securing Elbaf's future. Don't you see? You'd go that far. I'm counting on you, Loki. You're the only one who can make things right." Harold says that as a huge scream comes out from the OS castle, and Harold somehow gets back up on his feet and knocks every single guard flying across the room. The guards are also bleeding profusely, unfortunately, as a transmission is received that says there's a criminal roaming the castle. Seal the chamber doors. "Right away, your majesty." The guards in the room ask, "What have you done? You're not the King Harold I knew." "Indeed, that Harold is gone. I am now the Great One's vassal." Oh, he's looking like all for one now, okay. I think Emu has like fully possessed Harold at this point, okay. "None of you will be allowed to escape. The truth of what happened here will die with you." One of the guards says as he's bleeding profusely, "Everybody, run." And Harold unfortunately squeezes his face to the ground and says, "I shall deliver this country into the hands of Lord Emu." Yeah, so he's definitely being possessed and he's now fully not in control. Jarl responds, "Loki, hurry!" And we cut to Loki running as he says, "Damn it, why do I have to eat this devil fruit? Doesn't that mean giving up the ability to ever swim? And why is the old man suddenly acting like he has a totally different personality?" Unfortunately, Harold stands in his way and says, "You won't be eating it, Loki. That fruit is mine." "You just told me to eat it, remember?" Jarl stabs Harold in the heart and says, "You can't eat it, Harold. It would be the end of the world. Hurry, Loki. No matter what happens, we can't let him lay hands on it." Harold then takes a sword and jabs it into Elder Jarl's head, which I think is how he actually got that sword stuck in his head. He somehow survived this, which I don't even know how you do that, but you know, we'll just move on. Let's not question that. "I'm afraid I must return the legendary sword you gave me long ago. I need to eat the fruit and take up Ragnir." Loki responds, "I won't let you." And then, Gabon and Shanks comes in and saves the day by chopping up Harold to pieces. Oh, let's go. Jarl responds in shock saying, "Gabon, is that you?" Gabon takes a look at Jarl and says, "Jarl, what happened to you?" "Don't worry, my helmet saved me." "No, it didn't, dude. It went, dude, we clearly see that sword go straight through your cranium, dude. That helmet did not save anything, dog. Anyway, Jarl gets back up and says, "Please stop Harold. You can't let him catch Loki." Kaban responds, "No matter how you slice it, we've landed ourselves in a real pinch." Shanks in shock says, "Harold, open your eyes. Look at what you're doing." "Hey Shanks, this immortality thing isn't half bad. I truly feel superior now." Okay, Emu. Now he's just trying to convince Shanks that it's good for some reason. Okay, bro. Damn it. Is there really no way to free him from having to follow these orders? Loki then cracks open a door to what I presume to be Elbaf's secret treasure, which is a devil fruit of some kind. And he says, "This is the forbidden devil fruit passed down within Elbaf." As Loki is opening the door and entering the room, he gets a gigantic smack to the face by Arachnir, his own hammer, which he gets in this scene, I'm pretty sure. The hammer lifts and just smacks him across the face, which is hilarious. And Loki says, "Ah, what is this thing?" And the chapter ends there. Okay. Alright, so this chapter is definitely nothing special. I mean, we've seen Harold's death. We know Harold dies, but we never really knew the context behind his death. But now with this chapter, I think we can start to piece together what really happened in this time. As Harold arrived at Elbaf, having recently just finished making his contract with Emu, he gets taken over by Emu, and Emu plans to enslave the entirety of Elbaf because they're all strong warriors. And then, because of that, Harold thinks that there's pretty much no way to really save Elbaf if he remains alive, because he's immortal, first of all, and second of all, he has no control over his body, right? So the only option that he really had in his mind was to die, obviously, right? So that's why he ordered the guards to kill him, but since he's immortal, he can't die, right? So the only person that could have the strength to kill him is Loki, his own son, which is unfortunate. So then Elder Jarl ordered Loki to go to the room with Elbaf's secret treasure, and we don't actually know the devil fruit yet. We don't know what Loki's devil fruit is, but we know he probably ate it after this, and this is where he also gets the hammer. So based off of those context clues, I think we can piece together that Loki was the one who killed Harold. And since all the guards died that were on the castle, no one actually knew what truly happened, except for Elder Jarl, which is a bit suspicious, right? So Loki did actually kill Harold, but that was only because of his contract. And since no one knew about it except Elder Jarl, that meant that no one knew Loki killed Harold because he was acting strange. Since Harold was very respected around this time, Loki would never get any actual people to believe in his story. Like, no one would ever believe if Loki said, "Oh, I killed Harold because he made a contract with some deity, some monster, and that made him a slave and that made him act differently." Like, that's the most BS story ever. Like, no one would actually believe him if he said that. So he pretty much had no choice but to be the villain in most people's eyes in Elbaf. Anyway, that's the entire chapter. That's the chapter review, and this flashback is definitely shaping up to be one of the more interesting flashbacks for sure, especially with the writing, especially with how the whole thing with Harold's enslavement and contract works. Definitely very interesting. Anyway, if you like this video, consider clicking the subscribe and like button. It'll be greatly appreciated. And comment down below what you think. Will we finally see what Loki's devil fruit actually does? Or will we just get more Harold? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one.